We can say anything.
Yeah.
If it's true or not.
Exactly.
And it begins.
Your research.
And more people are coming on.
Let's see.
I have my hands up.
So Jacob, can you
turn that, or can you turn your mic like that way?
This way? Or
Like a bit more, and then slide it close to you. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
I'm not used to these because the other ones were like
Oh, the salad, yeah, see? Just scoot it up so you want to go
they
forward.
didn't move before.
All right.
like, is this a good height?
Scoot it, and then scoot it towards the whole thing towards you so you want to lean
It's like
forward
if you're
so
gonna
much.
kiss the mic.
He's off.
This way.
He's off.
Oh, golly.
All right, ready?
I'm with you guys.
Yeah, ready.
My friend along. Okay?
She started it.
And we are live. You can catch us on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook.
Cut it. Tell me when we're on. Howls over Baaz. I'm Jacob Casas.
I'm Rico Savage.
I'm Melanie.
And today we have an entrepreneurship segment. So,
Boss Ladies segment.
yeah.
Woo woo.
I'll get I'll have you. You got some,
Right?
yeah,
I
we
do.
do got some boss ladies in
That's
the
what
house
you call
right
women
now.
empowerment.
Oh.
You know,
yeah.
bring up the ladies in the industry. So
The double trouble.
So we're gonna start right over here. Why don't you tell the audience, introduce yourself, tell the audience about a little bit about who you are and what you do.
My name is Sandra Ayala, and I own a restaurant in Chino. I've been running the restaurant for 21 years. It is family owned. And
The name of the restaurant.
Los Portales Mexican Restaurant.
That's how you say it. We was having a time earlier saying it.
Portales.
Los
Yes,
Portales.
Los Portales. Yes. And so I've been doing it for 21 years, and I am
21.
still 25, guys. So yeah.
Girl math.
Me.
Girl math.
Yes.
Okay, and then we'll go over here. So introduce yourself to our audience. Tell them a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, and my name is Cynthia Ayala. I am Sandra's sister and business partner. I've obviously been involved in the family business for several years, ever since I was, third grader?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Damn. So,
they had you in the kitchen slaving.
No, I used to be called to work, and when I was in middle school, and I was like, I can't work, it's illegal. They're like, well, you're not working, you're
She used the
helping.
illegal part.
that's
how they
dope,
got
though.
away with it.
Yeah. Anyway, but Sandra and I are business partners now for a rooftop that will be opening in downtown Ontario sometime soon.
Wow, congratulations.
Yes.
Yes.
Excited. That's the new.
Is it Carlos's place?
No. It's her. It's your own, right?
Yeah, it's our own.
And
Oh, okay.
so it's like a branch off of Los Portales.
Yeah.
You guys, it's just you two, or
It's just us two. Obviously, our father and mother are mentors, but
Right.
we've been in this for a very long time, and it's just combining all our ideas, seeing what's out there, and trying
venturing
to
off,
yeah,
kinda like
trying something new.
expanding too.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about how you got started in that, because you said you were literally going to work as a young child. I mean, I had to do the same thing, but I want to kind of hear your story on that, because that's going to be a cool story.
Yeah, I mean, like Sandra can speak to it as well because she was the first one to start working in it.
Okay.
She was, she's a little older than I am. I know you can't tell.
She had to
She's
throw
only
that-
25.
she had to throw that in there.
She's like, I'm 25. She's a little bit. I don't know.
She's
Just
had to
like
say.
Hey, you gotta throw that in there a little bit.
I always tell her when
She's
she's my
I'm the
older
younger sister.
I tell her when she's my older sister. Believe me.
Anyway, yeah, so we started working really young. She was, when they opened the restaurant, I was much younger, not much younger.
See, another one. Another one.
Boom.
It just keeps going.
I was younger.
What did you do to her earlier on the way here? Did you do something to her?
Yeah. Anyway, but she was actually of age to be able to like
Oh, okay.
communicate with people, and she was serving at 15. Sort of being the translator for my parents. Like they opened this business without even speaking English really well, which was
That's a big step.
It was, and it also she was like thrown into the mix. Like no one asked her, but she was thrown in at a very young age. And by the time she was 20, or 21, 20, she was running her own business in Chino.
Yes.
Wow.
The store. So the
Yeah.
restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you give us a little bit like your journey on that?
So, like my sister said, I was 15 years old when my parents opened their location in Montclair, which if we
15
go
years
back.
I was gonna
That's-
ask.
that's where
is
it
there
was. Remember I told
multiple
you?
ones,
Yeah.
or
I'm
is it
Montclair.
like
I've been there
okay.
before.
Yeah, so if we go back a little bit further in, my dad and mom, they opened their location when I was 15, and like Cynthia said, like they didn't speak the language, very well, and so I was always there as their translator. I was the server, I was a busser, I was everything, So I learned a lot from them. Just watching them, and I was like extremely shy. Obviously, I'm 15 and straight out of high school. Like after high school, like I was like running cross country, shower, go to work type of thing every day, and like I just kind of like watched over what they did, and it was hard for me because I was like very antisocial. I was really, really shy, but
Introverted.
yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I had to be there for my dad and my mom. Like I
Kind of
had to,
forced you to,
yes,
to be
like,
extroverted.
I
in
had
that.
to, yeah. And I even like growing up, like I'm the oldest one, so I had to be like that, like that person for my parents because my parents didn't speak the language and they wanted me to like kind of help them with everything.
How do you think that affected how you are in business now?
It helped me a lot because I became very independent. At age 15, I didn't have a 15-year-old mentality. I think it was already,
Because you were making more money than most.
Business-minded,
You were making more money than most
business-minded.
15-year-olds back then were.
I was.
I won the
was-
responsibility was like the biggest thing because I mean,
Right.
when you're put in that situation, your mindset just changes automatically.
Right, exactly. So to me, it was very normal, to the way I was thinking. But then, like, now that I'm like, as I, get older and then I look at the 15-year-olds, I was like, wow, they're such kids. Yeah. Even like my 20-year-olds are, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're such little kids. And at 20 years old, my mentality was like all business orientated because of my parents. And they had that trust in me. Like, they're like, okay, Sandra, you've been working for 5 years. You have money. So what are you going to do now? You have to make an investment. So it's either real estate, purchasing a home, or did you want to do a business? I was like, I want to do a business.
That's what your parents came to you and said?
Mhm.
Wow, that's really cool that they came
They
to you like
trusted
that.
her, yeah.
Yes. They
That's-
trusted me enough to
She was
say,
a golden child.
I am dad's favorite.
Favorite.
Is it just you two, or do you have other
No,
siblings?
we have two more
There's
siblings.
Two more. Okay.
Yeah.
Are they in
I'm
business?
still the
Are they
favorite.
also in?
Now she's like, I'm gonna
Just
throw
throw
some
that
at
in
you
there.
now.
You said you're the oldest. There's two other siblings.
Oh, like she's doing it
So
too.
are they also involved in like the family
Yes.
business and all that?
Yes, they are.
So I want to ask you, why did you pick business, opening a business instead of getting a home?
I still remember being in the car with my dad. We were driving around like this community, and he's like, well, this house is out, for sale. Did you want to go ahead and purchase that? Because I've always wanted like a big house with a huge yard. And then I was like, Dad, I want a restaurant because then that way I can buy multiple homes instead of one home.
Exactly.
How old were you when he did that?
20.
You were 20? That's a crazy decision. That's a dope decision
Yeah.
because most people would pick the home.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can live off your parents in a sense.
She's
You can,
smart.
that's a very smart move because I don't think I would have picked that at 20 years old.
You're right.
And owning a business now,
work,
knowing I would do it like as older, looking back, but then I don't think I would have did that. So why do you think you made that decision though? Like what created your mindset for that? Because that's not a move 20-year-olds is going to do.
Right. So just like I said, I was just thinking about, well, if I work and I make more money, then I'll be able to purchase multiple homes. And I really love the restaurant industry working with my parents. I think I am a people person. Like I said, I was shy, but I really love the interaction with people. And I genuinely love people. Like, I always see the good in people.
It kind of just had to get you out of that shell to kind of
right.
be the person that you are now and, like, be able to talk to people and get out of your little bubble, you know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It kind of, like, forced you.
Yes.
In a good way, though.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So then, like, yeah, sure enough, we found a location in Chino. And I wanted it to be in Chino because we grew up in Chino. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to be like at my hometown, you know? So I wanted a place there. We found a little restaurant. And at the time it was overpriced, but with all my tip money, I was able to help put a down payment. And of course, with loans from the bank and my parents' help, we were able to open the Los Portales in Chino. Nice. And my parents were kind of like, well, here's the key. Good luck, you know? Wow. But they trusted me. Yeah. And they believed in me.
What did you do differently from the Montclair location and the Chino location? Like, what's the difference? I know the food is the same, but, like, what's the difference?
Everything's the same. I think I just kind of took everything that my parents were doing and I applied it in Chino. And then, of course, you kind of tweak it yourself a little bit as far as like, okay, well, you know, I think that we should probably do this a little bit different or that a little bit different. There wasn't much of a difference because whatever they were doing, the recipe, it was great, and that's what I wanted to do. Right. You know, so.
And then too, working with family, like that could be a good or a bad thing. I've heard both, and a lot of people, or even with friends. How do you guys like still keep that dynamic and, you know what I mean, be able to be around each other every day?
Well, no, it's good. We're good. Of course, like we're gonna bump heads occasionally, but we kind of like meet in the middle and say, okay, this is the best strategy, and let's go with that.
Who's usually right though?
Taurus.
The Thomas said the Taurus.
Jacob would ask that question because he's always right, never wrong.
Always.
You see,
we're not stubborn.
I don't have to ask that question.
We're not stubborn. We're just right.
Yeah. I like the way you put it.
So take us through the journey for the first year. Okay, your first year in business on your own. I want to hear about that because you learned a lot from your parents, but now you're on your own. And you said they just gave you the keys and just said, go, huh? It's on you now?
Yes, exactly.
Take us through that journey.
So the Chino location, how long have you been running that one?
So 21 years.
Oh, that one
So
too.
I was 20. It was December, and I was 20 years old, December 2004. Okay. And I remember that my first month was really hard. Of course, I'm still 20, so I still want my friends there, you know. So my friends would come over, and they would, you know, they would pay their customers, but I still wanted to hang out and, you know, chat with them. And I had an experience.
So you were partying for a little bit?
No, I didn't party because I wasn't much of a partier. Like I didn't,
okay.
you know. But they would come and
keep a balance.
Yeah, because my friends were like,
no,
oh,
she
Sandra.
had no balance. She just worked.
Yeah.
Oh,
when
okay.
she was really young.
Okay,
she
yeah.
just worked.
So, but my friends knew, like, oh, Sandra has a restaurant. Let's go visit her. It was like the only time to see me. Like my parents are like old school. Like I wasn't allowed to have friends over my house, and I was like really old school. Yeah, like they were very strict with me. Yeah. They kind of were a little more lenient there, you know. Different. So. Also, mentality-wise, I was like, well, if I open a restaurant in Chino, then I'll be able to see my friends and hang out with my friends. Because other than that, I was not allowed to. And I wasn't going out. My mom would let me go out once in a while, and my curfew was like 10 p.m. You know, so.
At 20 years old, too, huh?
Yeah, at 20.
Yeah, that's kind of like they still got to tell
20,
mom.
Not that I went over 28, but at 20, I still had a curfew at midnight. Okay, so, yeah. So anyway, we my first month I had a customer get up and said, you know, if you continue this, you know, with my friends hanging out, being loud. I wasn't there, but you know, being loud. They're like, you're never gonna make it. And
a different customer told me this.
Oh, really?
Yes. Okay. So then, like days later, I had, you know, vendors would come in, distributors, and they'd be like, oh, you know, we want to talk to the manager. I was like, oh, I am the manager. Well, let me talk to the owner. I was like, I am the owner. They're like, well, let me talk to your parents. I'm like, well, you can go to visit them at the Montclair location, but I'm running this location. And they just didn't take me serious. So I was always like, man, I can't wait to look 25. Like, I want to look at 20. I look like I was like 15, you know? So
because I thought you were super young.
I am. I'm 22. Oh, you thought I was like 21. I get it.
Remember, it's the girl math. The girl math.
So then, like, I had even like people that kind of knew us, they'd come in and then they tell me like, well, good luck. We'll see if you even make it because no other restaurant has.
Who though? Like the
Customers?
vendors or
Usually,
customers?
yeah, there's like a few people that are still kind of in our lives, and then they would come in and they would
I'm
say,
hating
Do you,
that.
do you
shit.
charge them extra now?
Well, you know how they say that it's like the people closest
to
to
you.
you are the
Yeah.
ones that
The
aren't
biggest
your
haters.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had the same thing going on with us, even with this thing.
What kept you doing it though? Like,
I think it was that motivated me. So they
Yeah.
said there was one in particular that said, well, this restaurant has been multiple restaurants, which it had. And then they're like, and they've only been here for max 2 years, 5 years max, because I think something happened, personally. But it was like 2 years of running the business and then they would move out. They're like, good luck. They're like, and you're like too young to be running a business. So yeah,
They
we'll see if
didn't
you
take
even
you
make
serious.
it. So they didn't
Yeah.
take it serious. So I think all of that built up and I was like, if my parents believe in me and I believe in me, then
Yeah. That's
why
all you
not?
need. That's all
You
you
know?
need.
Yeah, and like my dad said, if you believe in your product, then
you'll be able
there's
to sell
nothing
it.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe in that. I agree. It's
So-
you're always gonna encounter people though that are gonna kind of like be a bump in the road
Because they
Right.
can't do it. That's why. Most of the
Right.
time, it's people
Yeah.
who tried to do it or they failed in something, so they put their failures off.
Actually,
on you.
most people don't even try.
That part.
Yeah.
Well, it's
They-
1% of the
And that's
world
the
entrepreneurs.
problem.
So I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
most
it's the
people don't try.
problem. Yeah.
yeah.
People are a lot of people are afraid of people stealing their ideas, but you ain't got to worry about that shit.
'Cause
Because
they're not
these
gonna be able to
dudes
do
are
it.
not going to actually do it.
Right.
Exactly. And then I never see like the negative. Like I said, I'm a people person, so I never see the negative in anything. I see it as a positive. Okay, well, they said I couldn't do it, but I'm going to show them that I can.
Yeah.
And it's just, I trust in myself and I believe in myself. So I feel like anything that I set myself to do, like I'm going to accomplish
Yeah.
it.
Have you thought about doing anything else besides restaurant business?
Oh yeah, there's so many things.
Have you done it?
So many things. Well, I've been focusing more on the restaurant, and
new
then
one.
right before COVID, we decided that we wanted to do a rooftop. Well, I told my dad, I was like, I want to do a rooftop. I think it's the next step in the city of Ontario. It's the downtown area. It's really cute, and I think we should do something like that.
So that was like what, 4 years?
Like
4
5 years ago.
Yeah.
So then COVID happened, and we decided to kind of hold off because we didn't know. We didn't know what was going to happen. And of course, it took some time to come back from COVID. And just 2 years ago, we're like, okay, I think it's time again. Like, I want a rooftop. Let's do it. So I can't. I mean, I guess I can do it on my own, but it's nice to do it with family.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my
of course.
family.
More brains is better too. Multiple brains is better than one. So
Yes, exactly. And it's I love, like, even though sometimes we bump heads and stuff, but I love having my family there. So my dad, I met with him and city planners and everything, and my sister Cynthia is my business partner now. So we're opening this new restaurant in downtown Ontario called El Balcón Rooftop.
So is that gonna be more of a lounge
Yes,
restaurant type vibe?
correct.
Is there any other rooftops in Ontario? No.
No.
No,
No.
we'll be
It's
the
gonna
first.
be the first one in Ontario.
Yes,
Okay.
we'll be the first. Yes.
So lounge food, music. Have you done anything like that at the restaurants?
No, we have live entertainment, but it is family owned and family run, so it's more like classical music. With this one, we wanted to be more of like date night, girls' night, guys' night.
aesthetic,
Yeah.
Have
vibe.
fun, take some photos,
Yes.
and it's like a destination that people want to go. Like, hey, we need to celebrate.
Will it be ready
birthday.
by the summer for this
Yeah, I
summer?
was gonna
Oh,
ask,
yes.
Do you have a tentative opening date or
Not exactly, because everyone thinks like, oh, we're going to open a business and it's going to be ready in 6 months. No.
Restaurants
How
are
that
so
works,
different. The
yeah.
plumbing, all that stuff, you guys
yeah.
got to get taken care
Oh,
of. It's
yeah.
a pain.
And
major
not-
setbacks?
Not only that, we
Liquor
didn't
license
think
and-
about like, oh, it's upstairs, so everything's like 2 times harder.
To get up there.
And it's an historic building, so
Yes.
there's like
And they don't want-
There's all these rules.
They don't want you to
that
change the
gotta
structure of
do.
the building either, right?
Yes.
Oh yes,
Makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, when you go into opening a business, plans can take anywhere from 8 months to like a year for them to even be approved.
Well, what's your guys' plan?
Goal.
Where do you guys see it happening?
This summer.
Hopefully.
This summer?
This summer. I
Yeah.
think we got through some of the major bumps
Mhm.
already. So hopefully by the summer.
Nice.
Yeah, like June, July. We'll just say that.
And who initiated the partnership? Who wanted to be, like, who initiated that?
We did.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We had like a family meeting about how we wanted to. Like my
Your
idea
family's
was
really structured.
I like
huh?
that.
Yes.
That's dope.
well
Very
because
involved.
my dad, even growing up, when like a little history on them. Like my dad used to be a cook at our location in Montclair. It used to be called El Mexicano, then became La Mexicana, and he was a dishwasher, became a cook. And then he lost his job when I was 13 years old. So then he started working at 2 restaurants part-time. One of them is another family restaurant, Sendejas restaurant. They took him in as a bartender. Days later, he became a manager. Like he was really brilliant with business orientated.
I see Netflix. Like I see this is that's a movie. That's a whole movie.
No, he's
You know what I mean?
amazing. And of course, with my mom being like a great wife, being there for him, supporting him all the way through. Then she joined working at Sendejas as well as a host. And at 13, it's a family restaurant. I'm allowed. I was working.
To help.
Yeah,
You
I
were
was
helping.
helping. I was helping work with them because we needed to make ends meet. And at the same time, he was running a Mexican nightclub. And that's kind of how it helped financially. But they sat me down and they said, right now your dad, we're going through something. Your dad lost his job, and we just want to let you guys know. But, he's gonna be around the house, which is kind of like weird because we're like, oh, Dad's home. But it was like nice. We got to spend some time with him, and then like we learned a little bit about what was going on financially, which they always kind of kept us like in the dark with that, But I think they were really good at communicating, about the business or just
How
in general.
important do you think that was to you guys as children?
Well, Cynthia was little. She was probably like 4 years old at the time when that happened. How old do you think you were?
I don't know.
If I was like 12, 13 years old. You're
About like 6.
Yeah. So she was 6. So they didn't bring her in, but they brought my brother and me, and they kind of told us. Yeah, they didn't want to stress us out. He always says like, no pasa nada, like everything's fine.
Yeah.
Vamos a estar bien. Just want to let you guys know, like, we just.
This is what's happening, so we gotta restructure a little bit or kind of regroup.
Yeah, and then
figure
my
things out.
uncles at the time were working for Sendejas restaurants, the original one in Chino and another one in Ontario. And my dad went and worked at the one in Ontario. So that helped. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's maybe some of the best advice that your parents gave you about running a business?
I would say he always said, like I said earlier, like believe in yourself and you believe in your product. If you believe in your product,
You're unstoppable.
you are. Like as soon as people come into his business at the Montclair location, he's like, oh, bienvenidos, best Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
Even though he he tells them like, I'm better than Chino. My dad, but he jokes.
All
But
your
yeah.
friends go to the one in Chino.
Yeah. Yeah, but he says, believe in your product. If you believe in your product, then yes, you're unstoppable. So
That's good advice.
True.
I like that. What were you doing before you went into business with her?
I work in tech. So I work remotely. I'm actually still working remotely because it's Monday through Friday. So I'm able to do all that. And then after I clock out, technically, I get down and start making more lists of things I need to get done, or take documents to the city, or go to the rooftop, meet with Sandra, whatever it might be. I do that, and then plus additional work for back end stuff for her, for the Montclair location, whatever needs to get done with that.
So you guys stay busy.
yeah, she does everything I don't like to do. I'll be in the dining, she can be in the office.
Do you think the putting the nightlife with the restaurant is going to be a little bit more difficult, or do you think it's going to be easier?
I think it's going to help because we definitely need something like that in the community, for one. And we do enjoy it, so I think it's going to be a good.
I think it's going to be an adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be easy.
Because it's different. It's like
It's nightlife.
more
You're staying out. You're not clocking out at
music,
10.
entertainment,
Yeah.
not just
No,
a
I'm not gonna get my-
restaurant.
And honestly, what we've discussed more is just we need to be super solid with our operations. If we say we are closing at midnight, that means last call is before then, and then we are closed at midnight.
Yeah.
So that's what it's coming down to. There's a lot of things that we've thought about in the years, and even integrating with her restaurant, the Montclair location, just sort of figuring all that. But with this one, we're all right, from the beginning, everything's going to be super strict. Where because I have a family, she has a husband as well. So there's things that like we can't jeopardize that. We need to balance, and we need to be 100% every time we go into the business.
Right.
So that's where our mind is at.
You guys, does the restaurant close at 12?
Our locations
Yeah,
now,
Chino
they
and
close
Chino
at
Maher.
9 and 10. 10 the latest.
And then the rooftop would be at what time?
Probably midnight.
Midnight to start.
To start, yeah. Everything around that area closes around midnight. So we want to close around
Similar.
the same time.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Nothing really good happens after that time. Anyway.
Exactly.
People start getting a little crazy
Yes.
and
Yes.
more drunk and all
Yes.
that. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it different? Do you guys take the liquor license from the restaurant over, or you have to buy a
No,
whole new
you
one?
have to buy a whole
We got a
new
Jesus.
different one.
Yeah.
Expensive.
Yes.
Wow. And it's hard to get.
Yeah.
We got it.
Thankfully,
Because the
we got
restaurants is
it.
easier because the
Congrats.
restaurants, you have the restaurants too. So
Well, the thing is that, yes, there's different types of
Yeah.
liquor license, but we still have to go through the lottery.
hmm
And because they only distribute a certain amount in like
each city.
San Bernardino County, So we went through the lottery, we chanced it, and we got it. And that's thankfully it's happened with the other two restaurants as well. If not, you have to purchase it, with the
It's like real
Or you
estate.
can buy, or you can buy, you can buy it.
Yeah,
with,
it's
you can
like
buy it
real
with
estate.
it, or buy it. Somebody can sell it to
yes,
you.
but they can sell it
Yeah.
like 3 times
So
more.
What's the lottery? You put your
Yeah,
business
explain that a
in
little
there.
bit.
Yeah, so you register for it like a month before. They do a drawing. And if they only have 5 spots available and there's 25 registered, they do a drawing like the lottery. And they pull out names and El Balcón got chosen.
Wow.
Yes. And that happened with all 3 of our
Wow.
locations.
You guys got good luck.
And thankfully, it's like a fraction of the price, like it's at cost versus
They're
if we
they're
had to go,
expensive.
if we go and purchase from
On
someone
your
else,
own?
it's like a real estate. You have to have an agent, you pay them, and then
Because people sell it.
Yeah,
people sell it. Yeah.
and at
So
that
it's
time,
exactly how the market works.
Yes.
So it's like if one of them sold for $150,000,
Yes.
that might be the
Yeah.
price for the next one.
so when we were looking to apply, guess what? They
It's
were
cheaper.
$150,000 if we bought it from someone else. And my dad
But we
was
were already
over there-
looking. We were already like, okay, just in case, do
Yeah.
we need to buy it? So.
Yeah, somebody was like, why don't you guys just don't chance it, just go for it, just purchase it. And we're like, no, we got it. We're
Trust
gonna
the
get it.
process.
We're gonna
Yeah,
try.
we're gonna get it. We're
try.
gonna get it. Yeah, thankfully we got it. Yeah,
Good.
like you said.
So when you
earlier,
go through
everything
the
falls into
lottery,
place.
it's cheaper, or it's like a fraction.
It's
like
a-
you said.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Right,
at
yeah.
cost.
It's at cost.
good.
Yeah.
It's at cost. Yeah. So I mean, it is you're
It's
chancing
still
it,
not
but it's still.
cheap,
Right,
But
no,
it's
no.
like
It's better.
Yeah.
significantly cheaper.
Mhm.
Are your kids involved in the restaurant?
I don't have any children at the moment, but I mean, all my Los Portales staff are
They're
my
children,
kids.
yeah.
Yeah, they're my Los Portales kids. Yes,
Are you
all of
already
them.
staffed for the new location? The
Not
new
yet.
location? Not yet.
So we were waiting for this last step, which we were waiting on a permit. Got approved a couple weeks ago. We have to start adding some windows around the whole perimeter just to close it off at night. Obviously, it's going to be open during the day. We just got approved a couple weeks ago, and once that starts getting built in, then we'll start
Hiring
submitting.
process.
Yes, the hiring process. Yes. So we're excited.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's super
congratulations.
exciting.
That sounds
Yeah.
like really
Yeah.
cool because I mean, you guys all won those in the lottery. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that common, like for that many restaurants to like you don't even?
I don't
For
know.
the
I've never done
for the
it.
lottery, yeah. For the lottery, yeah. Because like even with the clubs, like most clubs they buy it from somebody else instead of getting. You know what I mean? Just because they don't want you
They don't want
might
chance
not
it.
get picked.
Yeah.
So 3 times getting picked, that's crazy.
Well, I know the restaurant and garment industry statistically are the hardest businesses. Those are the hardest businesses to. I mean,
'Cause everybody has them.
You've been in it for 20 years, so I mean that's wild. It's like you already know what you're doing. So opening another restaurant, it's like you're just gonna mirror it on what you're doing, but do something a little bit
Something
more.
different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the background end, you're just mirroring that.
Besides the shit talkers and haters, like they gave you motivation. Like what else was it that made you want to stay after that first month? Like I'm pretty sure it was a time like you know what
Well, I'm not a quitter for one. So the main thing for me was because my parents came here to America to live their American dream.
Mhm.
They came here with nothing on their backs. And like my dad came here like 6 months before I was born in Mexico, before he brought in my mom, me, and my brother. And in the back of my head, it's always like, well, if he was able to do it, they were 20 years old. If he was able to do it at an early 20 with no money, nothing on him, with a family, 2 kids and a wife, not speaking the language, then why can't I do it? I was raised here at age 2. I speak the language. I went to school here. I know people. So why am I not able to do it? So that's my main motivation. Like if my parents they're still going. If you go to the Montclair location, my dad is there from 9 a.m. till closing.
Wow.
If you go to the Chino location, my mom started helping me during COVID, and she's there. And even if I'm there, she's still there, because that's who they are. They're go-getters,
That's funny because
they're
I
your
had
motivation.
I had that same conversation with my brother when I started my business.
Oh, yes?
I said the same. I go, do people from other countries come over here and they start businesses? They're running circles around Americans. They're running circles around us. I go, I'm just going to do
type
it.
of like work ethic. I feel like when you have that dream and that goal in mind, it's like you're determined, you're driven, you're focused, and it's like when it trickles down to your children, like that's even better because like look at where you guys are at now.
Well, they make Americans look bad, and it's like we got to step it up.
Well, we look bad to a lot of like foreign countries.
That's literally why I started. I was like, dude, I'm doing it. I don't give a damn. I put it all in. Bet, you got to bet on yourself. And just put it all in. And I mean, we both know in business, like being patient is like the biggest thing.
Yes.
Nothing comes quick. You gotta put in that work, and it's like people think that money just comes in. It doesn't pour in like that.
No.
And how was your guys' patience during the vid? Like, how did that go?
It was a roller coaster. I mean, every day there was like new rules, new guidelines.
Did you guys do the 10 outside thing?
We did. We had to. So we didn't want to close. The city was actually very supportive. They said, you guys want to stay open, go ahead. But then, of course, like surrounding cities were closing, and they were just kind of like, you guys need to close. So we ended up closing the inside, but we did the canopy right away. My dad went out to Costco and bought the canopy. We did the canopy outside. The winds took it. They took it 3 times. It was really sad. Like we would get to the restaurant, and it's like all over the parking lot. But that didn't stop us. It's it just kind of
keep going.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, what do we do next? Let's add some barrels and let's add this.
More like finding a solution to the problem rather than dwelling in it. And it's like that's what kind of is driven you guys. I've noticed.
First, it was like a canopy, and then later, okay, let's add sandbags. Oh, let's add some barrels. Let's give it a different look. And every time, and every time it just got better and better for us, and people love the outside dining.
I used to like that. I used to like that.
Me too. In the parking lot.
It wasn't too bad.
It's like, what parking space are you at?
But I mean, hey, if there was the only place open, you were going to it.
Yes.
Literally.
You're like, no.
You're like, hey, I'm there.
It was really cool because I have a lot of friends that are amazing. You guys know DJ Angie. I believe you guys had it here.
Oh yeah, we had her on the pod.
Yeah. So during Cinco de Mayo, I obviously had outside events. And she came by and did a whole show there too.
Nice.
Yeah, she actually did a show inside when no one was there. So aside from her, there is so much support from like the community. What I started doing is I started having vendors. So a lot of people lost their jobs during that time, and there were some of my customers. So I offered them to come out and set up a vendor canopy outside. So they started selling.
That is badass that you did that.
So it started
good
off.
thinking.
It started with 2. It was sweet chilitos and handmade soaps. They started with them too, and then from there, like jewelry place, purse people, they started coming, and I had like 10, 15 vendors outside.
Yeah, I think I went to one of your toy drives too. It was kind of similar, I think.
Yeah,
to
so
that.
ever since COVID, I started that whole process because we help each other.
I love that.
It was helping the community.
It brings you blessings too, also. Like, you know what I mean?
So my first event was Cinco de Mayo. I figured, you know what, let's bring in some vendors, that way, and then make it a community event because I'm all about the community, about family, like about the children. Like you're stuck at home not doing anything, so I wanted them to come out and at least have a little bit of a good time, you know? So we started with that. Then we did the trunk and treat. Then we did the Christmas event. And it was the same thing, and it's all for like the community, for the children, just so they wouldn't think so much about like what's going on.
Negative.
A lot of the kids were watching like, oh my God, this is so sad, what's going on, and I didn't want that. I didn't want that for them. So I wanted them to have some time to like be outside with their family and enjoy that quality time with family as well. You
see, that's why I like this podcast, because I wouldn't have heard of of that happening. You know, like we noticed, like people can just network and they can do a lot of things together.
Yes.
Other businesses, business to business, whatever, and you can help each other out.
Yes.
But you don't hear about that. You know, that kind of stuff. That's why I like this podcast. You can share that, and like, wow, we didn't even know that was going on.
Next month, are you guys doing anything for Cinco de Mayo?
I'm gonna do an event for Cinco de Mayo, like usually my biggest events are always the trunk or treat and the Christmas one,
Toy drive.
the toy drive. Yeah, so I collect toys like months before and do this huge toy drive outside. Last year we had over 1,000 kids come and pick up toys at the restaurant. So it's awesome. Yeah, it keeps growing. I don't know, you guys know I do a demolition derby, so I have that event coming up in July. So that'll be after Cinco de Mayo, I have the July event.
Like you driving it?
She drives.
Yeah.
You get all
That's dope.
Get all the anger out for all year.
Yeah.
I did one in Texas like a long time ago. It was badass.
Really? Yeah, it's so awesome. I encourage everyone to do it.
Does the restaurant have a car or something? Or
Yeah, I'm Derby Barbie.
Los
guys.
Portales sponsors it.
And of course, Los Portales is the main sponsor.
Yeah.
We'll have El Balcón. And then I also get other sponsors. So I have a list of sponsors that already reached out
shit.
and they want to be my sponsor for this.
Are you going to do it
year.
too?
Oh, no, not me.
Sit in the passenger seat. What's this?
No.
Hey, but she's out there and she's like my biggest cheerleader.
I am.
course.
She is.
But our younger sister's going to do it.
Is she definitely?
Yeah, she signed up.
Yeah, but
To go against her or ride with her?
No, again.
no, we can't drive together.
No, yeah.
Oh, it's only one person. In
Yeah,
car.
but we figured, you know what? Might as well have 2 people in there.
Yes. We'll see who
More
wins.
the merrier.
Let the best sister win.
What city is that in?
Me.
In Chino. It's
Chino?
over
Oh,
at the
really?
Chino Fairgrounds, and it's in July 19th. And that Tuesday before the event, I do a big event at the restaurant. So you guys are welcome to join.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go. That's
yeah,
gonna be cool.
I get a car, logos of like everyone that sponsored us. So if you guys want to sponsor,
That's
Yeah.
dope. Yeah.
hmm
That's wild. So I mean, let me ask you guys questions then, because you guys are both married. Are your husbands in business too with you guys, or are they doing their own thing?
they do their own thing. So my husband, he has his own business. He's a woodworker
Okay.
slash a welder, like he
Okay.
custom furniture,
Oh,
wood fabricator. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's custom made.
But
Yeah.
he's a man of many trades.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is. He
Yeah.
started off doing construction. He does it all. Like literally, he can build anything. You know.
Does he help with like the furniture at your guys' restaurants and stuff, or like?
Yeah. So now
Construction.
he's building El Balcón, the
Oh,
new
okay.
restaurant. At the
Oh,
time when when I had the Chino location, I had it for about 8 years, and I expand, and he did just the construction part of it because he wasn't a woodworker at the time. And now that we kind of want to remodel, he'll probably do all the woodworking.
Nice.
But at the balcón, he's like
Making it your guys' own.
yes,
That's
yeah.
good.
He's the one in charge of making sure like everyone gets to work as well.
How-
yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask how
was-
how they support you, but
Yeah.
they're obviously supporting you because he's doing a bunch of work on your stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
most
supporting
definitely.
itself, you know.
Yeah, and it's important to have someone that is gonna understand how long your hours are, and support you all the way through with your crazy ideas because I have a lot of crazy ideas.
Well, give us
I'm a
some
little
of them.
wild.
Let's hear those now.
Oh, not until they come through, okay?
We'll have to bring you back on the podcast. to
Yeah,
hear
as
about
of
it.
now, we'll just talk about the derby and
That's what I was gonna say. I have a feeling you do have some. I mean, you do the demolition derby. Like, yeah, that's
Gotta be a little crazy.
Yeah,
A little
you
crazy.
gotta be a little wild. You know what I mean?
Oh yes, most definitely I am.
When you're a business
I'm
owner, I feel like you
child.
gotta get your kicks off somehow, and that's probably how you
Yes.
do it, huh?
I am. I love gambling. I love Texas Hold'em. So I think running a business is a gamble, but you believe in yourself and your
Yeah,
strategies.
poker night on the rooftop.
Let's do it. I do. I love Texas
Veto.
Hold'em. You're not invited. So yeah. So and my dad, he is also a gambler, but he just works so much that he doesn't make time for any of that. But yeah,
Have you learned how to make a balance as far as getting that away time? Because like we say on here, like that's the best thing for entrepreneurs is that travel time, vacation. Like,
I don't
do you
really
try
take
to at least?
vacations.
No.
I definitely want to, and I've been trying. I think with my mom helping me at the restaurant is giving me a little bit more free time. But like Cynthia said, like I've been like very, you know, like focus on the business the whole time that I really never really made time for
You
like
don't think
social
about it
life.
either.
Yeah.
Was
Sure.
it because of after COVID? It kind of like
Scared
tightened
you?
I
everybody
think-
up, huh?
Yeah.
Because I went on vacation before COVID and I freaking loved it. Like I went all over the place, right? But after that, now it's like I don't want to leave. I'm
Everyone's
afraid to leave.
perspective.
Like I need to
Really?
make
You
sure
can't
this
trust
thing
anybody with
builds.
your business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how you would want to run it. Like
But that's been my mentality from day one with the business. Even like when my mom first came in, we bumped heads a lot, and I was like, well, there can't be two cooks in the kitchen, you know.
sounds like your story.
So
Yeah, my dad started working for me, and we
Yeah.
bumped heads a lot. But
Yeah.
now he understands because they
Yes.
can't see your vision.
yes, exactly.
You know, they know, they think they know, but there's a lot going on in the background that they
Yes.
don't understand.
yes,
You know, and it's like, how are you going to explain that to them? And then when you try to show them, it's like they're going to fail on that part because they don't get what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You have to like continually show them, like, oh shit, now I get it.
Right.
And it's like now he's doing the things I told him to do when he fought me on them all the time.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes,
mean? Like,
exactly.
you know what I'm talking about.
Oh
there.
yeah. So in the beginning, like the first 2 months, I would say when she started helping me, it was a lot of that, and I decided like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna step aside and let you do your thing. But I know this is the way you guys run it in Montclair. This is the way I run it in Chino, and it's obviously worked. The formula has worked for over 18 years. So why change it now? You know.
Yeah. If
And
it's
then-
not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Alone.
So then eventually, like, you know, she started like understanding a little bit more, and yeah, now
It takes a
it's
while. It
good.
took years for
It took
that.
years?
Yes, it
Yeah.
took years. So that's
Yeah.
what I was saying. It probably took a while for you.
Yeah, it took a couple months for her to kind
Oh,
of like,
really?
okay, you know, like this is your restaurant, you're right. Like let's just do it this way, you know. There's like some things, like little small things, adjustments, but it's okay. We work through it and we're good. You know, we understand each other. So yeah, she's and like I said, like they're my mentors, you know, and I'm not gonna step on their toes. I
Right.
go whatever they say goes, but I also kind of like
Also no too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're real fortunate for that. Your parents to be your
For sure.
mentors,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and then I mean, because you can trust them too. You know, and a lot of people that are mentors, they can end up being an enemy later on down the line. I've gone in business with friends and other things, and they completely try to screw me over.
Oh yeah.
But your family, your parents, usually they're always looking for your best interest.
oh yeah.
They always want better for you than what they had.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's what's cool for you, that you got to go into it that way.
Yes,
know?
exactly. And people have offered to be, you know, investors and kind of like, no, you know, we can do it on our own, then we'll just do it on our own. And yes, it's a struggle. Like we've been doing it on our own. Financially, it's a huge struggle, especially with the delays on permits, and we're paying rent. We've been paying rent for like over a year and 3 months.
At the Ontario location.
At the Ontario, the new rooftop, and we
That's not
haven't
open
even
yet.
opened, you know? So that's why, like, whenever you walk into a restaurant and you see a seat is not, you know, like there's nobody sitting there, it's
That's
like,
money,
that's
yeah.
money lost, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you need that chair to be filled, you
That's
know?
your real estate.
Yes, every seat needs to be filled, you know? Like, we look at it, it's like, $30, like, you know?
What do you
so-
think was one of like the biggest things that make or break as far as a restaurant business? Like the people don't understand.
What do you think, Cynthia?
I think it's the dedication and the commitment to it. People assume like, oh, I have a business. And yes, maybe you have like a way to operationalize and make sure it works, you know, but you still need to be there for a while. And it could be a while, can be like over a year where you're like every day you're there, every day you're there, and you're checking and you're making sure it's running as it is. Most people assume it's easy, where it's like, oh, I got this and I
Just
have a really good
food,
product.
yeah.
But no, sometimes it's not even the product itself. It's, you know, your staff. You're struggling with staff and you're struggling because people are calling off, which is pretty normal, you know, especially in such a high turnover industry. But you just need to be able to like, okay, what's next? Who do I have? What do I need to do? And this industry has also lost a lot of potential staff as well. Like people don't want to work
Yes.
as they used to work.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just a lot. It's a lot of patience, a lot of dedication, and a lot of fruits of your labor don't pay off right away.
Yeah.
You know, it takes time.
It takes time.
Have you guys thought about franchising, or you guys just no?
No, Just
Keep it
keep
tight.
it family.
Yeah.
Yes, keep it family. And we obviously want Portales to continue to grow because that is our parents' American dream, to have their business and continue to grow that business along with, El Balcón now. So we in the near future, we see Portales and Balcón growing together.
So then if you would just hire more as far as like management, but not selling it, but you would just open up in different cities and then you guys would just run it?
Correct.
Okay.
Do you guys, because I know in Rosarito, there's a Los Portales in Rosarito. Is there any affiliations with that? Or?
No, there isn't. They
okay.
copied us. No, I'm just kidding. I'm like, there's another one in Mexico somewhere. And
Yeah, Los Portales is a pretty common name.
We got
So-
to go in the chat real quick. We're gonna have him read the chat
Yeah.
off a little bit.
C-Rock, he was a guest on before.
Okay. What's he saying?
He said, keep it going. This is you guys have a lot going on. Who is this? Keon Schaff. Hi, congratulations on having a business so young. What food do you guys serve? Mexican food.
We serve, authentic Mexican food from Zacatecas. So we're from Zacatecas,
Okay.
Mexico.
Shout out to you, man.
And then the mindful journey. Congrats, girlies, on your business.
That's exciting.
Thanks to everybody for reaching out to us through the chat. And if you
Subscribe.
got questions, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any more questions, you guys can keep asking them.
Yes, of course.
Can you guys give us like a run through, like as far as like Monday? You guys are waking up at what time? Like, what do you guys do when you go into the restaurant? Like, what are the things that are going on?
So Monday, like Monday through Friday, we offer lunch specials. Oh, but we have breakfast specials every day. So we have breakfast specials, we have lunch specials.
Do you have a brunch for Sunday, or are you guys close Sunday?
We open Saturday and Sunday, but we have breakfast specials. We don't do like a buffet brunch style,
Okay.
So we just keep it as specials.
Bottomless mimosas?
Not bottomless.
Honestly,
mimosas.
our product's really good, but it's just like we have so much, and it's so hard. Like we always want to be like, oh, let's add brunch in there, but we're like, we're already so busy. It's like such a great problem to have, but it's like so busy, and it's like, how are we gonna do it? Like we need more people on deck to be, and it's like,
and how hard is that right now for you guys to get more like waiters? And
it's hard.
It's really hard right now because I know it's hard for everybody to get workers right now. Nobody wants to work.
Like you said, COVID made people lazy, getting that free money, and nobody's going back.
Ever since COVID, I would have like 30 mechanics trying to apply. I'm lucky if I get one every 3 months trying to apply.
Or they would apply and then not show up so they can claim their unemployment.
It's
so,
crazy.
Sneaky little fucker.
Yeah. So we did have a lot of that. Like our previous employees obviously left because we didn't have enough hours for them, which is understandable.
Yeah.
I try to make it work, but what am I going to give them 5 hours?
Yeah, it was takeout only.
So
while.
it was takeout only.
And then how is that, you being a woman at 20, 21, how do you make your employees take you seriously?
That's a good
I was
question.
very
Like as a boss.
fortunate. Okay, so I did hire. Obviously, my hiring was like.
Don't say it was all your
For all your
friends.
20
No,
year
I didn't. I didn't hire friends.
Okay.
I didn't hire friends. That's one thing my dad said: do not hire friends.
You're fired.
He hired friends at
I'm
the
your father.
Montclair location. He hired them during I was used to work with him. All my friends used to work with me, but he was a boss. So when I came to the Chino location, I just did regular hiring, and there was a lot of people that came in and applied, and they were like 18 years old.
But them taking you serious, like, because I don't see you as a mean person. So like, how would you like, you know what I mean? How do
You could be different.
enforce? How do you enforce
but
things? How do you enforce things and people take you serious? Like,
Oh, I'm
how
not
did that
mean,
go?
but it does take a lot to get upset, but I'm very, like, this is the way I want things to be ran, and
She's a Taurus, and she's had her business for 20 years, and she's definitely cracking whips when she is.
Yeah, no, they did.
No,
They all
when you first started,
respected me.
though, you know what I mean? Because like,
No.
like me and him would say, like, you have to have those awkward conversations when you're a leader. You know what I mean?
Because I was, like at age 20, 21, I am a girl, a female. Like,
Right.
I think they had a lot more respect for me because I had respect for them, and the way I approached them was like very like professional. Like when they did something that was
You didn't make them feel like that you were like better than them or
Oh
something
no,
like that. Yeah.
never. And I think that's why they had even more respect for me. They have so much respect for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like even like my mom is there and they respect her. But when I get upset or like, no, we don't want to make Sandra upset or something, or when I am, they're like, oh, we're so afraid of you. You know,
Well, that's a good thing to go into. So, what's a leader to you?
it's not just being a boss and telling them what to do. Like you're there showing them. You know, like I show them from like showing them how to fix like sugars, salt, and peppers on a table. Like from that to like, you know, guests coming in and treating them like it's their home. You know, like I show them like step by step. Yeah, I work with them. I bus tables. You know, if I have to go wash dishes, I wash dishes. If we're short staffed in the kitchen area, I'm back there with them. Like I can make the dishes that we have in our menu, you know. So I might not cook at home, but I can do it at work. You know,
true.
so it's like I'm a leader as far as I can do everything that we offer. Like it's not like I can't, you know. So if somebody it doesn't show
You're
up,
involved.
it's not like they're not like replaceable. Plus, aside from that, like I don't consider myself just a boss, but like a mentor. And I tell them this, like, I know you're not going to be with me forever, but when you leave here, I want you to go to the next job. And I want them to say, like, who trained you? Where did you work? Like, your work ethics are great. And like, I'm really blessed to have a really good staff. Like, all my employees are amazing. And like, that's why I call them my Los Portales family, you know. And they call me mom, you know. I'm like, girl, you're aging me.
She's like, that's why I don't want to have kids.
Yeah.
I have enough.
Excuse me. But like, you know, they're great, but also because I try like not to be just a boss. Like I try to be their mentor. And I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's good because I feel like a lot of misconception too with bosses is like, oh, they just tell you what to do and you have to do it. And it's like, it's different with you. You're actually involved and
Building a relationship with them.
Yeah, building that relationship and showing them it, so they have a great experience if it is their first job. You know, so now they know they can take it if they choose to take it somewhere else. But at least with you, it's a whole different experience that they're going to have.
And then sometimes some people will come in and they'll work with me for a month. They're like, oh, no, this is too much. I can't handle it. You know, they leave and then they come back like, okay, maybe you're not too much. Yeah.
I want to come back.
Are any of the dishes your mom's recipes or your dad's recipes?
Yeah, we have a few. The mole poblano, that's something that my parents made at home. So my dad used to be a cook before, you know, at La Mexicana. So our original menu was like from him, from La Mexicana, and then we just expand to like seafood and other items that my parents obviously made back at home, like in Zacatecas. My mom makes a homemade flan. You guys have to come try it. It's delicious. I love our flan too.
You guys do vegan and or gluten free anything? Or,
Yes. So you're gluten free?
No, I'm just.
Oh, okay.
For people to know.
For the audience.
And yes, we do have
fat? No, I'm just playing.
we do have gluten free options. I am actually gluten free. And so there's a few options there.
Yeah.
And there's always the Sandra menu.
Recently.
Yeah, there's a lot of Sandra menu secret Sandra menu that you guys can.
Menu.
Yeah,
Secret
but I
menu.
do like spicy, so you have to watch out. Everything you order that's under Sandra menu, it's gonna be
Kick to it.
spicy.
I know. I'm like, this salsa looks so good. I wonder
Try
how
it.
spicy it is.
We want to hear the
You guys
crunch,
tried
crunch,
it
crunch,
already?
crunch.
No, I haven't tried it yet.
that's
Was
it's good.
it spicy?
Yeah,
You
try
tried
it.
it already?
No,
No,
it's not
it's-
spicy.
It's not super
It's a house
spicy.
salsa.
That's our house.
I think
salsa.
Well,
I've
I
had it
nothing's
before
really spicy to
at
me.
the one in Chino.
Yes.
I've been there before.
Because you've
so.
been there for their
Yeah.
events
The
and
first
stuff.
one I went to was in Montclair. That's the first one I went to.
So my dad doesn't eat spicy, so he likes the salsa not to be spicy.
Yeah.
man.
Over there, it's not gonna be
Yeah.
that spicy.
Good.
He doesn't like spicy at all. He can't handle it. If he goes to Chino, he has that salsa. He's like, this is too hot.
So who makes the salsa at the Chino? You guys have.
We have
someone-
a chef. Yeah, we have one person that's in charge of that. So we have
So
our
it's
full
like
staff.
your family recipe, but a little tweaked.
Yeah.
No,
so
no,
well,
no,
it's
the same.
it's the same.
So
Same.
the food's
Yeah.
the same. Maybe there's like 2 dishes that might, couple
Same
dishes
menu.
that, same menu.
Mm.
Couple dishes that might taste a little different because the Chino chefs have like a different take on it.
Mm.
But everything else, we're like,
Same
make
menu.
the beans
Stick it.
the same, rice the same. Do
same.
not change anything.
Well, they don't. Yeah, they're not supposed to change it. It's
They're
just,
not supposed to.
It's like if you make it like rice, and then I make rice, the same recipe, it's going to come out a little bit different, so slightly different, but it's the same thing.
Is it fun around owning a restaurant because you don't have to cook every day? Like you can just take the food.
Yes.
Well, I would think I would be big as hell.
You know what I do? I go and I'm like, can I get a bag of lettuce, some avocado, chopped tomatoes, onions? And I go and I'm like, okay, thank you. It's like my salad, my meal prep for the week.
Tell your husband you cooked and it was really the restaurant.
Yeah, I just tell the kitchen, like, I'm hungry, just make me something. They're like, what do you want? I was like, I don't know, just anything. Just cook something for me. So they make anything for me.
Nice.
Like pasta, even pasta sometimes, you know?
Oh shit.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah.
Only.
Sandra's
secret menu.
That's not on the secret menu.
So we get a lot of male entrepreneurs in here. I do want to get your perspective on some things. So what do you guys built your foundation off of? Like, how are you guys grounded? How do you stay grounded? Like, what do you build everything off of, from your values to everything? We can start with you and then go to you.
I just want to make sure I understand it correctly. Like,
so what's your foundation of who you are? What's that built off of?
my parents.
I was gonna say family.
Yeah, family. Like, ever since I can remember, they've been working. They've been working their entire life. Like Sandra said, if you go now, they're still working. So we know that anything you do in this life, or if you want to succeed, you have to work really hard, and the thing is, like, now we are privileged because we weren't like immune to it. We also had to work really hard, but they made it a little easier for us, where it's like, hey, like, this is what we did. We want you to take what we did and learn how to do it better than us. But a lot of it is on them, like our family, our parents, their work ethic. If there's, like Sandra also mentioned this, if we're really stressed out, we're like, oh my gosh, we don't even know how we're gonna fund this. My dad always says, no pasa nada, no pasa nada. And I'm like, I'm stressing out. I can't even sleep at night. I can't sleep. And he's like, you're fine. Don't worry. Things are going to solve themselves. And they always do. They do.
He's
It's
a very
so
Trust the process. You got to trust the process.
It's so crazy. They do. I'm like, I don't even know how. It's like, we are able to pay for this. We're able to pay for that. And it's just a lot of it. Like I said, everything is core family and what they've taught us.
I like that answer.
Yeah, because like my dad is very disciplined, extremely disciplined. So I think watching him be so disciplined, like, is just, like I said earlier, like, if they're able to do it, capable to do it at a young age, and, not even being, like, they weren't born here, with all the privileges, they were able to do it. Why not? Like,
It sounds like they're not gonna retire anytime soon.
Oh no, they're not.
Do you guys see retirement in your future, like doing it for having people run it, or you plan on the same
I
thing?
don't think so.
I think we enjoy being busy. We enjoy the chaos. If I'm a little slow, my husband, Ryan, is like, are you okay? I'm like, I don't know what to do right now. Like, I feel like, and I started doing work. I started creating work he's like, why are you doing that? I was like, because it's been on like my backlog of things to do. So
yeah, I like to feel overwhelmed. And it doesn't even feel like I'm overwhelmed, but I like to stay busy. I like to be super productive. So when I'm not productive, I'm like, what is wrong?
Weird,
It feels very weird. Yes, exactly.
I think the same thing. I feel like business owners just kind of go that route, because if there's nothing to do, you're kind of like, what the hell do I do now?
Yes.
Like, you always got to be doing something or building something, like making something work.
Exactly.
So then, what's the next step? What's the next goal besides the rooftop? Then, like, what's
trying to get it out of
future?
you. What's that next
What's
thing?
What's the
I
big?
know the rooftop, but what's the next thing?
Well, we're hoping like in a couple of years we'll be able to move on to another location, and we'll be able to open a Portales and
California.
Yes, to still keep it in
I
California.
think Inland Empire is still a really good area. There's a lot of cities that are growing.
Yeah.
Like I live like near Eastville. That area is booming.
Yeah, it is.
And I love it. So I'm always like, oh, Portales here. Maybe Portales and a balcon there.
Yeah,
We
that's
don't-
why I like
you know,
team
it's
them
a-
up.
What do you guys look for when you're trying to pick a location for a restaurant? Like, what do you look for?
Yeah, what's your process?
Well, first of all, we want it to be close to each other. Just we don't want it to be too far.
Too spread out.
Yeah,
because I go to LA, for instance.
and then it takes us 2 hours to get there if there's an emergency.
That
You
makes
know.
sense, yeah.
Yeah, for now, of course, but of course, parking is a big one. Like, you want to make sure that the location has
Our
enough
restaurant
parking.
patrons have
Yeah.
a place to park.
Mm-hmm.
Foot traffic, like
Yes.
busy areas.
Busy
traffic.
areas, yes. And
Potential, growth potential.
Yeah.
For the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So even if it's like not 100% like Chino, where we are located now, it's it's
But they're gonna build around it though.
yeah,
in the
but
future.
Chino is like such a solid area.
Mhm.
So it doesn't matter where it's at now.
Yeah.
Maybe it took a while in the beginning, but now it's like in such a solid place that it's okay. But anything in the future, we're like, okay, let's look at foot traffic. Let's think about growth.
yeah, because
Yeah.
like right now, like my location when we first opened, it was good. It was a good shopping center. But Chino has grown so much. We have like Ontario Ranch, it's right there. Jurupa is right there. And then they have the preserves area. That whole area, they're growing. It's growing so much. And everyone's kind of migrating over that area. They're forgetting about Central. Like Central's not even the main spot anymore.
Dang, that's
And
crazy.
and so like my restaurant, like in our shopping center, we're kind of like alone now. We only have 2 other tenants like next to us, and then O'Reilly's, because everybody else has closed down. There used to be a Big Lots, and they closed them down.
Oh, really?
And then they have like empty
Oh.
That's
spaces.
the Montclair
there.
one, right?
In
Chino.
Chino.
Chino?
Yeah, Montclair,
Chino.
they're good, but yeah, Chino. And thankfully, we're still busy. You know, everyone's like, oh my God,
That's
we're so
good.
worried about you guys. Like, everyone's leaving the shopping center.
Busy. You guys are busy. That's not them. We're busy. They're not.
I'm like, it's okay. I was like, we have the whole shopping center.
Yeah.
All
I
the
was like, more
parking.
parking space.
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
and then I'm
Yeah.
like, dang, yes. I was like, my next event, I'm going to take over the whole shopping center.
Please,
I want more
please.
space for
Yeah,
me.
More space.
Yes.
More vendors. Yeah.
More vendors. Exactly. Yeah. So that's the way I see it. I
Yeah.
don't see it as like, oh, great.
And it gives you more exposure because it's like your name is right there. Like
Yes.
They pass by Central, they're gonna see this open parking lot, and they're like, oh, they're gonna see
Baaz.
your sign.
Yes.
So first and foremost, you'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
come on in.
So we did run out of time, but I do want each of you to basically, we always use this last part just to say whatever you guys want, like when it comes to either giving them advice, like the audience,
Who you
like
are.
who you are, I mean, about running your business, what kind of advice would you give them, or just shouting out, your business or Instagram and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, well, you guys, we are located in the city of Chino and Montclair. We're Los Portales. We do have a small banquet room that we offer. It's called La Terraza at the location in Montclair, so you can book for like small occasions. And I just think that in order to keep a business going, you have to believe in yourself, believe in your product, and be very disciplined, of course, with discipline, and all those other two, values, you can go very far. So, yeah, anybody can own a business if you really dedicate yourself to it, and you have to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
You
start
do.
a business? They say there's a phrase in Spanish. Oh, I lost it already.
Slipped your mind. Never mind.
Never mind.
We know she meant. We know she meant.
It wasn't that shot.
Oh,
either.
they say el que quiere tienda que lo atienda, meaning
Ah.
if you want a business, you have to be there. You know,
I like
it's the
that.
only
Oh,
way.
I love
So
that.
el que quiere tienda que lo atienda.
Say it, Jacob.
I
A
have
ver.
no idea.
It's a play on words too. So
Yes.
I like it.
yeah, I echo that. Be patient, be flexible, be ready, dedicated, committed. Have determination, and you'll be able to do it.
And you guys, is there any upcoming events? I know you said May. You guys are doing an event.
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo, we'll have an event. It is on a Monday, so we'll see how that
I know.
goes. Yeah. But then we also have Taco Tuesday every Tuesday. We have live music on Friday nights with Naomi.
Sometimes we do tequila tastings at the
At
Terraza.
Terraza. So you
In
guys look out for
Montclair.
those.
Yeah.
They're
This is in
fun.
Montclair?
Yeah,
Yes.
we haven't
Tequila
done one.
tasting. That's that's dope.
It's really fun. We have 6 to 8 tequila vendors there. It's all you can drink tequila, and then you get appetizers included with your ticket, price of the ticket. It's a lot of fun.
nice.
So
And then,
we'll let
and
you
then-
know about
then-
this.
And then today on Tuesdays, what's the special for Taco Tuesday?
Taco Tuesdays are $2.50. $2.50. Tacos, they're street tacos, carne asada, grilled chicken, al pastor, carnitas, and potato tacos. Really
Oh, the
good.
potato
And of course,
tacos
you
are
guys can't
really
forget
good.
we have a full bar. So we have
Yeah.
margaritas.
Do you guys have that
cucumber
tequila that
jalapeno.
you brought? The tequila? Do you guys have that
What,
one?
what tequila are you talking about?
I
what?
know what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about. We don't drink.
You guys are good girls, huh?
Uh-huh.
We're just
Tauruses. Well, Taurus. And
yes.
Well, we appreciate you girls coming on.
No, thank you
It was
guys
a
so
really
much
good
for having
episode.
us. It was awesome.
Our slogan is "Shed the Sheep." So we're gonna look at the cameras, and then on 3, we're gonna say "Shed the Sheep."
Okay, sounds
1,
great.
2, 3.
Shed the sheep. Howls over Baaz. I'm Jacob Casas.
I'm Rico Savage.
And Melanie.
Sandra Ayala.
Cynthia.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Press the
And
button.
we are out.
Peace.
Bye.